Raymond, I placed an Amazon order recently that showed up alarmingly fast.
Yeah, they do that.
Not like in an hour, as you guessed off mic, but.
Well, I meant because sometimes over here they do same day delivery.
Well, that's cool. No, I was impressed because I needed a 3DS charging cable because I am set to appear on award-winning podcast The Retronauts, and I have to play a game, and I had 3 months to play it, and I sure didn't.
Okay.
So I've got a week to
Should
get
you be
ready.
admitting this?
What? What's up?
What?
No, I mean, it's a game that I beat in 2006 and haven't played since. So like, I know of it and about it, and I've played it and finished it, but not in the past 18 years. Is that math?
Close
That's
enough.
Math. Okay.
Sounds right.
And I loaned my 3DS charger out to my mother-in-law because she was doing a stint. She was doing a nickel. She was in the hospital for a little while.
I see.
And she wanted to play some Dobutsu no Mori.
Oh, okay.
And I have not received my charger back, and I thought that's fine.
That's the Forest of Animals, is that right?
That's exactly the one.
Yeah, right. I know Japanese.
And so I just went on Japanese Amazon. I searched for 3DS charger. Awesome. Wow, they're cheap. Hey, you can get a 3-pack of 3DS to USB cables for like $5.
Yeah,
so
I got a few
that.
extra long ones of those, yeah.
Cool.
That's the way to go.
Now here's the freaky thing. I ordered them New Year's Eve, and they showed up New Year's Day in Japan when nobody does nothing.
No. It's very important.
Everything is closed on New Year's Day. Who is delivering 3DS chargers?
That guy. Or
I didn't even get to see that guy. He didn't even, he just put it in the mailbox. They're so small. He's not even on my camera.
Yeah, that works out.
Right? He didn't even come up. He just put him in the mailbox on the first floor.
That's crazy. I mean, well, let's be honest. Some things are open on New Year's Day in Japan, right?
Name one. Oh, yeah, that's true.
7-Eleven?
I can name a few. Convenience stores, of course.
Yeah. When you really need a kazoo for your New Year's party.
And I do.
Yeah. Your New Year's Day party. I don't know. This is a new thing I'm trying out. New Year's Day parties.
It'll catch on.
Yeah, okay. Thank you. You're invited.
Invite all your friends over at like 8 a.m. New Year's Day for a party.
Reminds me when I had my little apartment in San Francisco, and people like across the way would have a party at like Saturday at 8:30 a.m.
What?
I would wake up to like a crowd, a commotion of people like outside on a balcony, just like chatting in a party setting. I'm like, what in the fucking...
Are you sure they weren't still up from the previous night?
No, because I didn't hear anything the night before.
Oh, okay.
Crazy.
Yeah, that's Wacko Lay.
And it was not a holiday.
You think Wacko Lay is going to catch on?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe they were trying some new things, in the same manner as my New Year's Day parties. Maybe they were like, hippie-ish tech people wanting to try some new way to get going and motivated by having a party in the first thing in the morning.
Yeah, man, upset the order. Shift the paradigm.
Anyway, Amazon, yeah, they'll pay people peanuts to do things on holidays, of course.
All right, we solved the mystery.
Yeah. I mean, good for you.
Now. What?
They have, we've had things delivered at like midnight or close to it. We've had things delivered like 4 a.m. So
that's wild. In my experience, Japanese delivery is typically, I think they max out at like 8 p.m. unless you specify.
Yeah. We also live very close to like newly built like warehouses or hubs for them. And so like, I would assume if you're getting something at 4 a.m., you're probably the first on the line or one of the first. And then some of them just take until 11:30 p.m. to get something. And then we never see it because sometimes they're so fast, they don't show up on our camera and then, or even, our sensors or anything. And so we don't even know. And then you get up in the morning and you get the notification that it was delivered last night. You're like, Jesus Christ. So there was packages sitting out there all night. God, but it's fine. Anyway, yeah.
I'm happy for you.
No, I'm happy for you.
Okay.
Enjoy your 3DS cable.
It's fantastic. It charges from my bed. My bed has a USB thing coming out of it.
Wow.
My bed's a robot.
No, I think it's just one of those things you get on the bed sometimes, right? Is it in the frame or is it on the end table? Are you talking about?
In the frame.
Oh, wow.
Yes, that means I had to plug in my bed when I bought it.
My gosh, is there anything Japan won't invent? What are some inventions that haven't been invented yet?
Sky boots.
It's No More Whoppers. Welcome to the show, everybody. My name is Ray Barnhold Hobnobber, and with me, as always, straight out of Yonkers, was that it?
Tarrytown.
Alex Fraioli.
It's Tarrytown.
It's Tarrytown, baby. I'm Jack Nicholson or whatever. Hello.
Yeah, exactly.
Alex,
yeah, the classic film. What? Hi.
I was going to ask you if you're ready for a rollicking episode, but you already had a rollicking episode in Japan.
What?
Just yesterday.
Yes. Yes.
The northern coast got a 7.5 earthquake, was it?
Yeah, 7.6, I believe. Ishikawa got rocked pretty bad.
The final count, 7.6.
Yeah, not great.
No, not
Very
great.
Destructive. We felt it down here. It was about a 4 down here.
Yeah. You felt it enough that you left the building, you said?
Yeah. Well, I felt it. I was sitting in my office and I felt a very small shake. And usually when that happens, I will get up and I will find my wife wherever she is. And I'll say, did you feel that shake? Just to confirm I felt the shake.
Right.
And by the time I got to the living room to ask her, did you feel that shake? The whole place was already shaking.
Oh, brother.
And so we both, we mildly panicked. She started, because she was watching TV, the entertainment unit started shaking. She was just kind of holding the TV up so it didn't fall over. Nice. And I was in the kitchen because we have a kitchen rack that is extremely wobbly.
Oh.
And I was holding that to make sure, like, things were falling off of it.
Right.
Nothing broke. It was plastic stuff that fell off the top. Keep your plastics up top, folks. Be safe.
Yeah, sure.
And it calmed down after, I don't know. It felt like they always feel like a very long time, but it couldn't have been more than 20, 30 seconds. I don't know.
That's what happens when it's an unsure thing.
Yeah, right. And then we started panicking, and we didn't know if there was going to be a strong aftershock, but just in case, we grabbed our stuff and we went next door to the Donkey. We live next to a Don Quixote.
Oh, yeah.
Which I said this I have a group chat of my local pals here, and I said this in group chat, and my buddy Jason said, Don Quixote is the last place I'd want to spend an earthquake.
Yeah, they got a lot of stuff.
But yeah, they have a ton of, it's also a supermarket. One floor is a supermarket. It's a great place to spend an earthquake.
Yeah. Well, what I was thinking of was that when I've been to Don Quixote, it's like a tightly packed store with a bunch of shelves of random crap stacked to the ceiling. Like
it's called a mega donkey, which is a pretty great name.
Okay. Yeah. Right. Like a super Walmart.
Yeah, I think typically Don Quixote is just, here's some crap. Here's like a $5 pair of tennis shoes to buy for your Halloween costume, which I did. Exactly. the 1 year I was Red Shoes Uno for Halloween. I needed some red shoes.
Yeah. They got you covered.
We have a mega donkey, which means the third floor is where all the crap is. The third floor is where all the stupid crap is. The second floor is an honest-to-goodness supermarket, also called Don Quixote.
Right.
And so I grabbed my phone, my wallet, my passport, and we went over. We took the stairs down, and I'm panicking on the way down because an aftershock could come at any minute.
Yeah,
and my wife is slowly walking down the steps because she's texting her mom to make sure her mom's okay. And I know that's important, but right now it's more important that we get out of the building.
Yes.
And I'm yelling for it, stop looking at your phone and leave the building with me right now. And she's like, I have to text my mom. You can do it in 20 seconds. Let's go.
Yeah.
And we made it out fine.
Shades of my wife. Not in a disaster necessarily, but she's probably on Slack with for her job or something.
Her mom was fine, by the way. Everyone's fine.
Okay, yeah. Listen, where did it hit exactly again?
Ishikawa was north of here.
That's right.
On the northern coast. I think the epicenter was in the Sea of Japan.
Yeah, crazy. But still, the North Coast is not. They haven't been getting the best of it the past, decade.
No.
Geez.
And I think the tsunami's maxed out at 5 meters, which is still pretty bad. And that's I think that's where Totori was, where our pal Maddie used to live. I think she's in Tokyo now. I mean, now she's enjoying a nice holiday in those United States. But oh man, if she was still up in Totori, I think it might have been pretty dangerous up there. I know the surrounding areas got waves of 3 meters. Hokkaido and the north and south got 1 meter, I believe.
Okay.
But yeah, not great.
Not great.
Very stressful. Basically, we spent the rest of the day just, panicking, like, is it going to happen again? Because typically when these big ones happen, there's a chance in the next couple of days that another big one's going to happen.
Yeah.
Or a comparable one.
Well, as a nice companion piece, 2 airplanes crashed.
Saw that? Yeah.
In Japan as well.
That's unfortunate. Jeez.
Yeah.
At Haneda, yeah.
That's nuts.
And it's the whole thing has just kind of reminded us, like, oh yeah, this whole area is overdue for a mega quake that's going to level the whole city sometime in the next 20 to 30 years, which is not great. And we're still living in an old building that I don't think could withstand that. So my only hope is, like, maybe we'll be at work when it hits, and maybe I can get out of the basement I work in fast enough. I mean, my wife works in a giant building called Midland Square near Nagoya Station, and I think that's a big enough, sturdy enough building that I think it could withstand that kind of quake. But we don't know for sure.
Yeah,
it's not great.
No, of course not. Well, for the time being, things have settled down, and of course, there's rebuilding to do and all that.
Yeah, I think we're coming out of it now. I think it's been 2 days. Yeah, because it was on the 1st. We're recording on the 3rd. I'll take this show. I don't give a fuck.
Okay.
Yeah, I did download I downloaded an app someone recommended called. I mean, it's very useful, even if it is very clearly made by weebs. It's called Nerve, and it's the Nerve logo from Evangelion, but slightly changed.
Okay.
And it's developed by a company called Gahern, which is also an Evangelion thing.
Oh, God. I hope Palmer Luckey isn't responsible.
I forget who that is.
The inventor of Oculus.
Okay, no, I don't think
also so. He's just an irredeemable right-wing guy, but also a huge weeb.
Gross.
He talks like one of those guys, too.
Gross.
Terrible person, yeah.
But it's basically an app that monitors huge natural disasters in Japan, and supposedly it's one of the fastest ways to be forewarned before an earthquake hits. It'll sound an alarm. I mean, they're supposed to, like, my phone and my wife's phones went off, but it was just a meek little voice that was, just earthquake. Like, thanks. That's great. But this app is like a deafening klaxon that will alert you ahead of time that you need to leave.
I don't mean to disturb you. But
I think it also includes, I don't know how it knows this, but it's got some kind of a timer on it to let you know when your location will be reached. So, like, if that timer says we have enough time to leave the building before it actually hits, I mean, maybe that's the wise thing to do.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Wow.
Wild.
Just very stressful. We were just a couple of panicky idiots for about 24 hours. I was also getting frustrated because my wife was just continuously watching disaster footage on TV, and I understand it's important to keep up with the news, but it just keeps repeating the same tiny videos of disaster footage.
Yeah. Love that TV news.
There's no new information. And, like, it's all useful information for people who are affected, because it's like, here's where to evacuate. Yeah. Here's the places that need to evacuate. Here's the places that don't need to evacuate.
Yeah, they're not going to be like, well, we found the culprit.
They slap giant handcuffs on Titan.
It's not an earthquake manhunt. Like,
he could be anywhere.
The damage has been done. God.
Just I go to the subway station next week, and they got those wanted posters down there, and it's just like it's a very quickly sketched picture of Titan. But it's like, instead of A4 paper, it's on a gigantic piece of paper.
Right.
Because he's huge.
Yes.
Oh, man. We finally calmed down. We ended up watching Nausicaa of the Valley of the Wind, which is Ruri's favorite Ghibli movie.
Uh-huh.
And it calmed her down for 90 minutes. And then the movie ended, and she turned the disaster footage right back on.
Oh, all right. Well,
and I'm just like, all right, well, I tried. I did enjoy the movie, though. I'd never seen it. It's pretty good.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Yeah, she's feeling better though. I was, I don't know how to calm her down when she is in panic mode. She goes into panic mode a lot, and sometimes it rubs off on me. And I'm only now learning how to not be influenced when it happens. Because for the first few years of our relationship, when she went into panic mode, I would go into equal panic mode, and then just I'd panic for no reason, or I wouldn't be able to do anything because I wasn't calm enough. And now I'm just like, okay, she's in panic mode. I am going to not fall for it this time the way that my brain used to.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, in this case,
fall for it. Yeah.
Yes. I don't want to, I want to stress her panic is completely justified in this situation, but there's a point where you do have to calm down and do something.
Yeah.
And that might be not watching any more disaster footage on TV.
I guess between me and my wife, I'm probably the one to have more panicky tendencies, but I still, I stay calm at the basic sense. But like right now when I'm stammering and trying to figure out what to say, that's only magnified in a panicky situation.
I think it does work both ways, because when there's things that I panic about, I've learned, I can't tell her because then she will panic as well. Unless it affects her directly, I've learned to just the whole. I guess I'll get into this later, but the whole tax situation right now with the IRS. You know what? Fuck it. I don't want to get into it later. I'm just going to dump it all right now.
Okay, let's back it on up and dump it.
I don't tell her about this because it's under control, and I know that if I did tell her, she would fly into a panic. Basically, the fact that I contacted an accounting firm on the West Coast because I'm trying to get compliant, because I don't want the IRS coming after me.
So we know the basics of the story by now based on last time.
So the grand finale is, according to this tax firm in California, I owe the IRS a 5-digit number in USD, which I guess I can scrape together and technically have, but I also, don't want to worry my wife any more than I already have. So I'm just going to very quietly, pay this off. Now, to ease that, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to upload a list of the games that are in the bar. If anybody wants to buy a game for me, I am not begging for money. I'm not doing a GoFundMe. I'm not doing any of that shit. I am throwing up a list of things that I own that I want to sell to you, the listener, to help me deal with this. Because who would have thought that the American government wants a humongous chunk of the Japanese stimulus money I got from the Japanese government for my Japanese business? Who knew they were entitled to that shit? I sure didn't.
Certainly not any of those military bases were a harbinger for any of this. No, of course not. Yeah. What occupation? This is all, the nucleus of all of this is just because you are still an American citizen.
Yeah, that's all it is. It's America is one of 2 countries in the world that taxes you based on citizenship.
And what is the other one?
Etria, I think, not from Etrian Odyssey. I think it's a real one.
Yeah. This isn't one of your RPGs, Alex. This is real life.
I'm sorry. It's America and Alefgard. Those are the only 2.
You mean Eritrea? Is that
Eritrea? That's the one.
In Africa, yes.
Yes.
Great. Great company.
So yeah, I mean this is after wrestling with this tax firm for a year, and then filing the Better Business Bureau complaint because they just weren't getting off their asses and actually doing the thing they charged me for. And then they finally did it, and then they're like, "Yeah, so actually you owe them a lot of money." And now I'm going back and forth with them, like, "Okay, but for real though, because this is a lot of money." And I wasn't taxed on, the stimulus money in Japan is taxable, but my company has had a deficit going forward since its inception, so I didn't actually owe any tax on the stimulus money in Japan.
Yeah.
And now Uncle Sam is saying, "Yeah, but you owe us though." And I have to assume these guys fucked up, and I need to give them more information for them to fix this, because this is not okay.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, I guess this is a little premature, because I don't know if this can be fixed. I may not owe the money. I'm still waiting to hear back from them. But yeah, their initial assessment was, "Oh yeah, you owe a lot of money." And I'm like, okay, but that's fucking stupid.
Well, there is a way through it. I mean, some people can find ways to get on payment plans or whatever, but they are still working with an accountant to or to minimize that, and so on and so forth. So yeah, I know you are aware of a lot of different things. I'm just saying, also for people listening, Alex is not like immediately screwed. I don't think.
Well, here's the big problem. And I think I've discussed this before. The root of all of this is the guy, the kid, the child, the zygote I did the Zoom call with.
Okay.
When all of this shit started in February last year, I did a Zoom call with this kid. Looked like he was wearing his dad's suit. And he, like, I explained everything to him. Like, I didn't know about these requirements. I didn't know I had to file. I certainly didn't think that this stimulus was taxable by the U.S. fucking government. I just want to get right. I want to be compliant. Is there a process for this? He says, yes, it's called streamlined foreign offshore procedure. It's very common. I said, cool, let's do that.
All right.
He does not convey any of this to the guy who handles my case. Which is why the first time I was charged, my credit card was charged, it was for an unrelated thing. And I can you hear the ambulance outside?
Yep. Sorry.
Cool. All right. Well, you're on the show. Welcome to No More Whoppers. Sorry, I'm all riled up. They charged me for a thing I didn't order. And then I got back to them like, I didn't ask for this. Don't you remember what I wanted you guys to do? It's this. And the guy's like, oh, yeah, sure, I'll do that. So he did that. And then they charged me the full amount for it. Overcharged me again, by the way. I had to remind them, you guys said that the amount you charged me for accidentally would go towards the total, and you overcharged me again.
Oh, fantastic. Yeah.
That was finally fixed. So I only paid them what I owed them. But then at the end of it, the guy's like, yeah, we did it. Here's how much you owe. Here's how you can send it in. And I'm like, okay, yeah, but what about the streamlined foreign offshore procedure? Don't I have to like include a letter that says I'm sorry, I didn't know, and like because you do have to do that.
Yeah.
And the guy's like, oh, that's the first I'm hearing about this. What do you mean that's the first you're hearing about this? That's the whole fucking point of this. That was the point of the Zoom call I had with your nephew in February. How do you not know it? He didn't convey any of this to the guy. None of this was conveyed. And that's where we are now. I'm waiting to hear back from him because last time I emailed them back was just before Christmas, and I'm sure they took 2 weeks off. And I'm waiting to hear back.
Music?
Yeah. I'm waiting to hear back from the guy because he didn't know this was supposed to be me coming clean. He just thought it was a routine. Oh, you just didn't do your corporate taxes for 3 years. Yeah, sure, we'll take care of it. It's not that. So yeah, everything sucks. I really don't want to have to pay this money because why the fuck should I? And that's that.
Well, you could always just keep it that way and become an international criminal.
I don't wanna.
Yeah. Got to change your phone number like a lot of times.
I know. And I was even, I think I was talking about this with Bob and Nina when they visited the bar last month, but like, I can't even just renounce my U.S. citizenship because you have to be caught up on your taxes to do that, and it costs like $4,000 now.
Dang.
Now, going forward, the way that we're handling this going forward is in December, I just for Christmas I decided to give my wife a company. My wife is now the owner of Critical Hit Limited because I don't want to fucking be on the hook for this anymore. I only made sure, we only went forward with this after we confirmed it was fine, totally fine and legal with both Japanese and American sources.
You mean so that you probably maybe won't ever have to owe the U.S. anything after that?
Yes. Yeah, exactly. It's not even just owing, though. It's the fact, like, if you are an American citizen and you have a company overseas, you have to file an extra form every year disclosing your company info. Just having that form filed, like, on average, accountants charge between $600 and $700 just for that form every year.
Yeah.
So that's an extra $600 to $700 a year I would have to pay just to be compliant. It's the biggest fucking garbage barge I've ever heard of.
Yeah, it is some nice rules they can come up with, huh?
Yeah.
Some real nice ones.
All right. I don't want to talk anymore about taxes or earthquakes. Please, can we avoid those for the rest of the show?
Okay. Well, I do want to ask about Critical Hit.
Uh-oh.
Because, like, where are we now in terms of the status of the business? Because you were saying you were ready to wind it down.
Yes.
Maybe by the end of last year.
I'm still, so here's something I don't understand. I don't know if it's just the Japanese government trying to scam people out of money or if it's my accountant trying to scam me out of money. But I asked my accountant just out of curiosity when all this tax shit started, hey, can I just like close down the company and operate as a an entrepreneur, as like a sole proprietorship. And he's like, well, yes, but you have a lot of your company has a lot of deficits, so it would cost you about 600,000 yen to close down the company. And I'm like, why? Because you have a lot of deficit. Like, I don't know what that means. You need to explain that in a way that fucking makes sense. And he still hasn't. And I think he is basing this partially on reality, because I have to assume that anything business related is set up to cost people money and take advantage of people. I also think he wants to keep me as a customer because he gets a lot of money from me every year for filing these business taxes, because it's very expensive. I still don't understand what he means by it costs a lot of money to close down a company. Is that true anywhere? I don't think so. But he's the money talking guy, so I have to assume that that's what reality is.
It's like he could mean it in the sense of like, well, you have to pay another expert perhaps, or you have to have some extra costs in having a professional help you wind down your company or something like that, right? Like maybe not in like a pure writing the form and submitting it way would you owe anything, but in the sense that there's just considerations,
administrative costs, clerical costs.
I would bet that's what he means, but I don't know the full story anyway.
We did have to pay a guy like I think it was 67,000 yen just to transfer the company.
Yeah.
Now the upside to having such a humongous deficit is there's no further cost. If the company was making a profit, it would have cost a lot of money to transfer it.
Yes, of course.
But he said because we're in a deficit, it's free.
Okay, great.
Yeah. So the bar is still afloat. Weekends are still pretty good. I mean, December was better than October. I don't count November because I was on vacation for 2 weeks. But
I mean, like your shutdown plan is delayed.
Yes, it is. Because I have a little more like wiggle room safety wise to operate now that I don't have to worry about the American side after I fix whatever this problem is now.
Okay, well.
Now, let's not forget the company also covers my voiceover stuff. So even if we close the bar, it is in our interest to keep the company going because we're operating on such a large deficit. It basically means all of my voice income is tax free.
Okay.
Same with the bar. Any income is tax free until we're out of the deficit, which is nice. Yeah. Because corporate tax in Japan is very high.
Of course, like everything there.
Yeah. Yes. And hey, guess what? Taxes are going up again this year.
Of course.
Thanks to fearless leader Jose Megane.
Excuse me?
That's the nickname for, what's his name? Is it Kishida? The prime minister?
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. His nickname among folks is tax glasses because he wears glasses and he's raising taxes. Look, it's not the most clever.
No, I guess. No.
But you know what? You work with what you got.
I thought it meant maybe that he wore glasses that an accountant would wear.
No.
Oh.
No, he just wears, which I don't really see as, I don't know if that's an insult. I mean, a lot of Japanese people wear glasses.
Yeah, right. Like you're just trying to come up with a new way to say four eyes.
Yeah, if he had like one ear that was bigger than the other, like work with that.
Come on.
But glasses is like, I mean, that's you might as well call them tax shoes. For real though, they are taxing my shoes.
Oh no,
we're fine. Okay, so that's now like business wise, the bar is still staying afloat. I get enough business on the weekends and some weekday business that it's fine-ish.
Okay,
it's really the voiceover work that's keeping it afloat. But like consider that if I just close the bar, I could start then making money because I would be getting the voiceover income without having to drop 200,000 to 300,000 yen a month on bar costs.
Yeah.
But and also I'm getting tired. Look, it's always nice when people visit the bar. It is one of the greatest things. And for the past few Saturdays, I do go home at night thinking that was a lot of fun. I'm glad I do this. I get to hang out with cool people every week, usually every Friday, Saturday. It's a great chance to meet new cool people. But also, it's come on, let's let's wrap it up. It's enough. I don't want to close, but I've done a complete 180 in terms of where I was in 2017, 2018. I am like praying to God every day that I open up my mailbox at the bar and it's a letter from the government saying, you can't have video games. Oh, shucks. Guess I gotta close.
Okay.
I want my hand to be forced so bad. I was even considering just using the IRS thing as a good excuse to close, but like, I mean, I don't know.
I mean, you could.
I could.
Can I be like, you know what? I owe 5 figures in whatever.
You know what? Let's do, well, yeah, but then I look like an idiot because it's like, it's a percent of stimulus money that I got, and it's very obvious I have the money to pay it, or I had the money to pay it. And I technically still do. I would just be flat broke if I did.
Right.
You know, it's basically all of our Japanese savings is what it would cost. Ruri is adamant that we have savings, and for good reason. It's just a smart thing to do. Also, combined with the exchange rate, you know, because all this money is in yen.
Yeah.
If I could work out a monthly thing, I mean, I'm sure they're willing to be reasonable. If I could work out a monthly payment system, then I could just take money from the podcast or streams or whatever every month, and because that's USD, that would be fine. And that's not cutting into our Japanese savings. Like, that would be manageable.
Yeah.
And if I do that, I could keep the bar going. But I don't know. Do I want to? I kind of do and I kind of don't. I'm right in between now.
Oh, okay.
So the tentative plan is to keep going, and we'll see. It all hinges on what happens with this tax money.
And you, listener, can join our new platinum subscriber tier at only $5,000 a month.
Oh, yeah. Are we doing that?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll have it paid off in a couple of months.
It's where we're finally going to do video episodes. And we'll kiss. No. $5,000 a month, patreon.com/NoMoreWhoppers.
I mean, I guess.
All right. Anyway, do I still have time to send you those gifts I meant to send you 8 years ago? Or will you just sell those once you get them?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
It's just a pile of toys, really.
Oh.
Would you like some toys?
I got a lot of toys.
Okay, great.
Oh, good.
Yes.
So that's the cause of my stress this month. It's a toss-up between mortal physical danger due to the anger of the earth and financial danger due to the IR fucking S.
Japan, a country on the grow.
If it's not one thing, it's another. You know, everything's just...
Absolutely.
I am trying to stay positive. You know me. I am a paragon of positivity.
Yeah.
But I am reaching my limit. It is only through the comforting embrace of my lovely wife that I get through every day. Because holy shit, I cannot deal with all of this. It's so much.
I know.
I made an appointment at, there's a mental health clinic in Nagoya that everyone recommends. Cause it's geared, especially towards foreigners cause they speak English. And I called them to make a reservation for a consultation. Cause like, it was the anxiety. It was the tax anxiety that was getting to me. And I'm like, I need to do something. And I called them up and made a reservation. And then I ended up a week later, I called and I canceled it. Cause I realized like they don't do like counseling. They just do prescriptions. You go in and you tell them how much anxiety you have and they prescribe you with a drug. And like, and I don't want to do that because I don't think a drug would help me. I don't think any kind of medication would alleviate. Like, no pill that I pop is going to make the IRS disappear, you know? Nor would it really help me deal with it.
I can think of one pill, but yeah.
But, oh no. So yeah,
disappears for you though, not everyone else.
Right. I elected to cancel that, and I'm just gonna stick it out. And like I was looking for actual counseling, and there is an English language counselor in Nagoya, but they are extremely expensive. And like again, that's something I can't afford right now.
Yeah,
something I cannot really do right now. But I really wish I could. So we'll see.
I'm with you. I gotta think about it too. I think now this year,
it's just
sort of a resolution, New Year's resolution for me is to maybe think about therapy again. The thing is that the social anxiety thing, I know about the main techniques, which is like the behavioral therapy. I just don't like the behavioral therapy.
What? Tell me about that, because that's like social anxiety is a part of my poisonous pie that makes up my brain.
Oh, well, you know, I can't outline all of it because it's a bit foggy in my memory, and I'm not the therapist. But you know,
brain fog.
It's just like gradually exposing yourself to things that you may be afraid of and so on and so forth. Just general sorts of fear and anxiety kind of therapeutic solutions.
Okay. I mean,
geared towards, your specific problem.
I do kind of put myself through that at the bar.
Yeah, true.
It's been a kind of like, what's it called? Immersion therapy. Because I am constantly dealing with new people and I hate it and it's terrifying, but it's, but it depends on the person. I have to like kind of suss them out when they come in. If it's someone I've never met, like it'll take anywhere from 2 minutes to 120 minutes to figure out, oh, okay, this person's cool.
Right. But the fact that you're generally comfortable in it because it's A, your bar, and B, they're buying stuff off you and stuff like that. Like that is a different context because, our brains are not binary. And so,
yeah,
for me, it's like little things that seem perfectly normal and reasonable for some people, but are just not for me. Right. Like I could be a bartender probably in that sort of same context. And I can be a nice and friendly, inviting person.
Are you applying right now?
No, I will not be buying your company from you.
Damn it. Well, it's my wife's company, really.
You too. How about that? You couple.
That's true.
And so, yeah, I forgot my point already.
Behavioral
but it's
therapy.
different for everybody, I guess is what I'm saying, obviously.
Yes. Yeah. And like it affects, I don't want to make excuses for myself, but I do feel that it is one of the reasons that my Japanese is not as good as it should be or even is in other instances. Like, because the social anxiety kicks in when I'm speaking Japanese to a Japanese person. Because instead of focusing on the conversation that I'm having, my brain is shoving into the foreground every assumption I think that person is making about me.
Yeah, of course.
Which really is how the social anxiety impedes every interaction that I come up against. I am imagining what the other person is thinking, and it's always the worst possible thing, and I just freeze up.
Right.
And with Japanese, it's that times 10. So like my Japanese it's not great in a spoken setting. I mean, it's fine. It's functional, but that was one of the things that I was, before I quit drinking, that was one of the things that I was self-medicating was getting that out of the way. Because if I was drunk, I could speak Japanese to a Japanese person all day long, no problem.
Yeah.
And we would understand each other and everything would be great. And now it's just like, it's not nothing, but it's not where it should be.
Yeah, oh, well, I can relate to that too. But that's mine's at 0.
Oh no! So I'm trying my best to be nice to customers, and I'm because of this impediment, I'm always worried that they walk away thinking,
I think he's a little unfriendly.
You know what I mean?
Well, in some cases,
are you hearing my drops?
Yes, I am.
Okay, all right.
Sorry, they're just not funny.
Aw.
You're not funny. No, I'm just kidding. Sorry.
Yes.
In some ways, you do it on purpose, though, because someone is just a jerk and you just can't, deal with them.
Oh, that's different. That's, that's my annoyance poking through. It's coming through the social anxiety.
Yeah.
It will lay dormant under the surface like the great white shark, and then it will poke through once that limit has been breached.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's when I will snap at people.
Okay, I see.
Like there's this, oh my God, there's this one fucking guy.
Oh no,
hey,
here we go.
You know what? He knows I don't like him, so I'm not saying anything I've not already said to his face. Because it's
Alex's jerk corner. Not that kind.
Because he's from the town in New Jersey where my family lived for 10 years.
Okay.
And his younger brother and my younger sister went to the same high school, and because of that, he thinks I'm from there, and he thinks we're friends.
Love it.
And I just exploded at him a couple of weeks ago, just please, you need to stop pretending that we are friends and that I am from there, because I am not, and I am done pretending that this is cute.
Yeah.
And I think he understood it. But it's just, yeah.
And goodbye.
I've never lived in New Jersey. I visited my parents a couple times a year when they did, okay? But when you make reference to a town or a shop or a person in New Jersey, I don't know who or what the fuck you're talking about.
Do you know a place to get a good sandwich in New Jersey?
Jefferson Diner.
All right, thank you.
Unless you're talking about Jonathan, Bonathan, Jovi, I don't fucking know anybody. Okay? That's the one guy I know.
All right. What about JWoww?
Who's JWoww?
Okay, someone liked it.
Okay. I am really sorry to open the show on Alex's negativity cascade, but I've just been going through a lot lately and I need an outlet. That's what this show is.
The opening of the show?
This is, hang on, how long are we? 45 minutes? Holy shit.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry about that. Sorry, folks. I'm going through a lot and I'm not handling it very well. And this is why we started the show, isn't it?
Is it?
To talk about our problems.
I thought we were going to be famous.
I'd like to.
When's that going to happen?
I don't know.
Oh, all right.
Here, sign this. All right.
What was that for?
You adopted me. I've always wanted to have a brother.
Critical hit.
That's my name. All right. Raymond, I'd like to get on to something a little bit lighter, if I may.
So would I.
And that is napkin food copy.
Excuse me?
Napkin food copy.
Napkin food.
My wife has these napkins in the kitchen that we use, and they are adorned with they're made up to look like a fake newspaper.
Yeah.
So please put some dessert themed music behind this. That'll do.
Oh,
because it's time for Volume 1 of International Sweets Weekly. All right, now Volume 1. This is the edition for up top. It just says "Wed of a Week." I don't know if that's supposed to be Wednesday or what. Wed of a Week. A Sweets Weekly is put on the market on Wednesday every week. Please give me a Sweets Weekly by all means pleasing. All right, let's
you're writing the paper.
Let's see what we got on the news here. Brand new roll cake.
Oh, good.
This season, roll cakes appear now. Attention is a roll cake using much Canadian maple syrup also in it.
Everywhere.
The cloth, which needed a fresh flour full of maple syrup of California and was crowded, is elastic and very delicious. It is a cause of maple syrup that is light brown. Inside, this is also putting the Canadian chestnut with a large drop. The chestnut boiled well with caramel sauce is adding the accent to texture. Since it is a roll cake of limitation this autumn, please try earlier. Okay. Oh boy. I don't know if this is a supernatural thing or what, but there's another headline that just says "The Other Side."
No, that's standard newspaper format.
Yeah. Other attention roll cakes are cakes of the white chocolate named the White Knight. It seems that I hear that as for a milk full of white chocolate, there is little bitter taste, and a child is also eaten with good appetite.
What?
And reservation is already pouring in.
Eating children?
Yeah, this got dark. There's an ad for Cafe Roman, their New York store. New York is one word. Only the N is capitalized.
I see.
This is the big news. This is the headline. Tiramisu, born in Italy.
That's right, yes.
Mascarpone sweeps over New York City. The sweets of the combination of mascarpone and cocoa powder may repaint the Tuck Shop in New York. Are the new sweets which sprinkled cocoa powder over mascarpone cheese known? It is tiramisu. It becomes the texture which will melt with a very delicious cake born in Italy if it puts into a mouth.
Okay. True.
As for uniting with this tiramisu, not ordinary coffee, but the condensed coffee, which are called espresso, is common sense. Holiday season. Long-awaited holiday season. Are you already decided as for the schedule? Yet? A happy spot is introduced to Lonely You. It is stimulative rather than the nightclub in Brooklyn. More decent than Upper East. It is drilling. A rule is easy. A ball is rolled, and as 10 pins are pushed down, the hero of the holiday season is you! Is this just instructions for 10-pin bowling?
It sounds like it. That's real well, yeah.
It's nothing to do with sweets.
A winner is you.
Then there's an ad. There's an ad for something called John Coral Patissier Store. And there's a silhouette of somebody wearing a chef's hat, but the silhouette is very obviously just Alfred Hitchcock with a chef's hat. That's just all
good.
It is.
Yeah.
The copy in the ad is March. A new menu this month becomes the fruit tart using much cranberry from California. Flesh is solid. and it eats and responds and preeminent. Since a favorite bag may be pledged to too much delicacy, it is attention, ... Wow.
Get that bag.
All right, we got one final article here from the Sweets Weekly. New York style baked cake handmade butter. Since the coffee taste is extracted as a stretch by high pressure, the taste is a little slightly bitter. It is the Italy style, which much sugar is put in there and drunk by about 3 lots. It is a Nodalo manager who has spoken that this set sweeps over New York. I don't know what Nodalo is. Is that like Shadaloo?
Guess what? They don't either.
Okay.
Keep going.
The time of a hard cake like the New York style cheesecake was over. It is talking. From now on, a new thing is whether popularity can be, however, acquired to favorite New Yorkers and attention. And then at the bottom, there's an ad for traditional clam chowder, Campbell soup. What is a dinner? Pretty good ad.
Campbell. Yep.
Campbell soup, yes.
Is that like Campari?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
That's all the news from International Sweets Weekly. Over to you. Chocolatey cocoa, fuck. That's not in there.
No, that's the catchphrase. That's the segment name. Let's just call the segment that instead of napkin food copy. Otherwise, napkin food sounds like you're eating the napkins.
I don't mind.
Consuming napkins over there?
Fine. All right, so we're calling it chocolatey cocoa fuck?
No. Right now, yes, we are calling it that. Because I get to play the drop again.
Chocolatey cocoa fuck? All right, that's the new segment, chocolatey cocoa fuck. Look at these cocoa pebbles.
That too. That's a candidate.
Oh.
Yes.
All right.
They love talking about Italy, though. That's for sure.
Well, they do. We had a lot of good food over the holidays. Our new tradition for Christmas is going out for big steaks.
Sorry. The cadence of that was funny.
We like big steak. We're steak people.
Okay, yes.
Well, yeah,
Great.
it's
Where do you like to go for a big steak?
There's a place called Bistro T-Bone.
Okay. You're hitting it with me one after the other.
Near Nagoya Station that we really enjoy.
Hit me with it.
And we go there for Christmas and for our anniversary every year. It's our little place. It's funny because we rarely see anybody in there anytime we go.
Okay.
But it's great. It's delicious. First of all, it's huge inside. It is decorated like it looks and feels like we're in a New York City steakery. What are they called? Steak place, meatist. Yeah.
Right.
It's like the big comfy booth seats, nice big table, like just candles lighting all the tables, a bunch of framed newspaper articles on the wall for no reason. Just really cool.
Cool. Yeah.
And they do a good steak and they do good mashed potatoes and creamed spinach, etc., etc.
Alrighty. Yeah.
And then we came home and Ruri made a Christmas cake that was delicious.
Oh, of course, yeah.
She did a lot of great cooking over the holidays. Cheesecake as well. Yeah. Delicious cheesecake. I made pasta last night. That's not really a holiday. That's a normal occurrence.
Yeah, of course.
I made a mentaiko pesto, which I'd never done before. Turns out it's real easy.
Wild stuff.
Just eating great in the neighborhood.
All right, yeah, good.
Oh yeah, for New Year's we did soba and tempura, which is a Japanese thing. You have soba on New Year's.
Yeah.
And this is the first year I realized I don't have to eat them the Japanese way, which I consider to be folly, which is you fry up tempura to perfect, crispy, golden perfection, and then you dump it in the broth with the noodles so it immediately gets soggy. I have never understood why this is the custom. You have just made one of the most delicious fried foods, and now you have ruined it as part of the recipe. I don't get it. So I ate them separately this year, and it was the best soba I've ever had.
No kidding. Yeah. I don't understand putting it on there as the serving. Like, why don't you just set it on the side and let me dip it if I want?
Yes, exactly. If I want to. I don't have a lot of complaints about Japanese food. I think in general it's, awesome. It's most of my favorite foods are Japanese. But this is my only real complaint. I have a complaint about Japanese eating culture, which is not even related to Japanese food itself, but honestly, it's Enkai culture.
And what is that?
Like events eating. Well, not I guess like a party. I don't know what it's a faculty party. I guess is a good example. Or you go out with your work pals. That's
office
an NCAI.
pizza party.
Office pizza party. My only complaint about that really is, and I ran into this a lot when I was in ALT. I would go out for NCAIs with the teachers and the principals. You go to a fancy-ish restaurant.
Yeah.
I remember we went to a kanihonke in Yokkaichi.
And what is that?
It's a crab. You know the building with the big crab on it that looks like it's walking?
Oh, yeah, from Yakuza.
Yeah, great. Yeah. Kani gagotoku. Kanihonke is crab dishes. It's all delicious because I love crab. And we went there for a faculty party, and I was excited because I love crab. And we get there, and they bring out these delicious crab dishes, and they're piping hot, and they put them in front of you, and they take off the lid, and there's crab. And then before you eat, there's 30 minutes of speeches. And by the time the speeches are done, your food is stone cold.
Okay.
This happened at every NCAI I've ever been to.
Fantastic.
I don't know why this is done in Japan. I don't know who thought this was a good idea. Let's bring out the food and watch it get cold as we listen to speeches and then eat it. How about just do the speeches and then bring out the food?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Maybe I have just had the poor luck of going to bad NCAIs. Maybe I'm sure there are places that do it right these days. And by places, I mean companies or schools, but
try serving some sushi, maybe.
The sushi, yes.
That's not as bad.
Yes.
If you're waiting for it.
I don't mind. This is going to sound gross. I don't mind room temperature sushi. It's fine.
Yeah.
It doesn't need to be cold when you eat it.
Doesn't need to be hot either.
Ice cream. That's true. Don't cook that sushi.
Yeah, geez. Or how about an ice cream party? Well, no, that'll melt, I suppose.
I would like to have an ice cream party, though.
You know what? Let's go back to the tempura. Let's just not in any soups.
No.
Just lay it out. An all tempura bento.
Yes. Oh.
Oh
my God. I want tempura
Lunch plans tomorrow. Join me?
Yes.
No, you're not invited.
What?
You were mean to me.
Very disappointed. Next question.
Should we take a break?
Let's take a quick break and then come back because we've got a lot more to cover.
A quick break after a quick lead up to the break. Right.
That's right.
All 1 hour. Okay, fine. I'll be back with a podcast that we do.
らしくもないキャラと妄想ショー混ざる刺激と悲劇ブラックホール身がよじれる号であっても青いピカソの動機がピンポンで跳ねるうねる映るプラズマ互い酔い冷めないでもうちょいと騙されたいな遠くまで一生太陽震え出して脳細胞までこのままもう何も
Folks are back. It's No More Whoppers. I'm Ray. That's Alex.
That's me.
Alex, we're here in the new year, January 2024. And I got to tell you, I'm a free man in the sense that, of course, as talked about, intimated previously, in December, in the middle of December, I finally completed my final course in university.
Yay!
So I am now a college graduate.
You've graduated. You're a seed graduate from Ballum Garden.
Yeah, and at least I get a regular paycheck from them. That's
true.
It is too bad. It's the only way I can get money, though.
That's right. Yeah, because you know what a tent does.
I have to wait every fucking, 8 hours to get money deposited into my seed account?
If only.
Meanwhile, I'm leveling up and the enemies are leveling up with me. What is going on?
Hey, man, it's a good analogy for the job market.
And the Guardian forces are erasing my memory?
Yeah, there's also that. Be careful of that. Did you know that we grew up in the same orphanage?
Well, that I wouldn't be surprised by that. You and me, yeah. That would be fun. Wild. Anyway,
That's
yeah.
Right.
I was only 4.
All right.
I'm finally done with school. And so
awesome.
I said so online, and people have been saying congratulations and all that. And I do thank you, everybody who's been saying that. Of course, it is the polite thing to do at the very least. And so I get it. But still, there is this part of me personally within me that is just like, I don't really need congratulations, because to me, this has been kind of an annoyance and something I should have figured out like 20 plus years ago. And so the fact that it is just kind of like, it kind of sucks. Anyway, as you were struggling to tell me, go ahead.
Sorry. I think you can interpret a lot of those congratulations not as congratulations on graduating, but congratulations on overcoming all of that anxiety and fear that you just described. I don't think it's.
I'm not interpreting anybody's congratulations. I'm not saying, hey, don't shut up. No, that's not what I'm saying. Please, you did
tell me very pointedly to shut the fuck up when I said, Raymond, I'm very proud of you and congratulations on finishing your degree.
Well, that's just me razzing my best friend. That's all. That's just locker room talk.
But you kicked me down the stairs.
Locker room talk.
Okay. Yeah, you got me.
Boys being boys.
You cut my zip line.
I'm just breaking your balls. Literally, once you land. Hey.
God damn it.
Collar tug.
Oh, fun.
No.
And that was our first date.
All right.
None of what I just said is a response to anybody. Like I just said. Obviously, thank you. It's not. I'm not directing that at anybody. This is just me describing how I still feel after that whole thing. And so, it's just like, I'm just glad it's behind me. But at the same time, it's like, I should have just figured that out a long time ago. And we talked about that. There's a lot of
shit we should have done a long time ago.
As we talked about it in the second episode of our bonus show, Crunk Games Podcast, which is free, of course. We talked about how I was sort of like in my weird space right after high school, trying to go to a video game school that didn't work out. And I just had only that as my prospect for post-secondary education because I got into that school, or I wanted to get into that school mainly because I didn't have to take an SAT. So I never took the SATs. And that just, that for some reason in this wonderful culture that we live in is just like a barrier to getting into any college at the right age, essentially, other than community college, of course. But to get straight into a university, you'd have to do all that. So I didn't like the whole prospect of taking a big test when I could just go to the video game school. But it didn't work out. And so I just kind of trudged along for a few years and tried to be like a freelance game writer, which we also talk about on that show. But yeah, it just kind of led into finally getting a chance to move for a professional job full time, put through the ringer as far as the whole media industry goes, and getting laid off, and just feeling like, well, am I just going to have to try and do this the whole time? Because I don't have any other kind of education on the record. And it's hard to get job interviews for anything else because all I've been is a writer. And this is all back then, right? 10 years ago, let's say. And until I finally just had to say, with the encouragement of my wife, it's like, you got to get a degree. Maybe it'll help you get some sort of leg up or something to move the needle as you try and find a job or some sort of interview. And so I just went and did it. But the whole thing is just like, it just sucks that I had to do it. Is really what it boils down to. And I'm done talking.
I gotcha. Yeah. It's nice that it's over though, right?
It is. Like I said, it's a relief. And for the most part, my last 3 classes were pretty easy going. I saved all the hard, incredibly stupid ones for earlier in the year, which I talked about a little bit. But that was done. And then I just finished in fall. And now I basically just have to wait for the diploma to roll in.
That's a kind of dinosaur.
No, that's a Diplodocus.
Oh, I do apologize.
Yeah, I know that's your favorite dinosaur to reference as a joke.
Diplodocus, certainly.
Dipple?
Yes!
That's me.
I don't know where my diploma is.
It's
probably in my parents' basement somewhere.
I didn't go to any commencement.
Oh, yeah, God, why would you?
4 days after I ended my last class. I'm just like, I'm done. But I do want to say, and this is what I was telling you on Discord, I think that week, was that so we had our finals days, which are like, a week after the actual last classes.
Okay. Now, is this as bad as the final days as depicted in Final Fantasy XIV?
Thank you, Alex. Anyway,
Sorry, okay.
We had those, and one of them, it was 2 on one day, one in the morning and one at night, because I had that night class. And so in the morning, I did the first one, and it was this was prior to the actual final test. But anyway, we did a group presentation as part of like a final thing as part of the group project. And I did that and helped out with that. And then I go, and then the final day, and then I do the final test on that day. And then I turn in the test, and the teacher comes over and whispers to me that you were really great. You were one of the best people who did the presentation there.
Wow.
And I said, oh, yeah. Thinking in my head, yeah, I know, because I'm 40 and I've done this a few times. But thank you. Thank you very much, of course. I am not the looking down and reading my notes verbatim type, of course. I understand that. And that
eye contact, that's important.
Which is also, by the way, one of my contradictory social anxiety things, because most people bring up public speaking as a social anxiety thing. To me, it's not a big deal as such. So
I'm the same way.
Yeah. I characterize it as like broad activities versus minor activities. And so broad things like public speaking, generally okay, because I know I'm in control for the most part. And
yes, exactly.
No one's going to throw a shoe at me. But, having to cold call someone or email or whatever. Yeah, that's
the worst.
That's the worst. But anyway.
God, especially on the phone when you have no access to visual cues.
Yes.
The worst.
Well, we'll get to that. Okay. Anyway, continuing. I just thought that was funny. Nice, of course. Although I think the teacher was about maybe 15 or so years older than me. Okay. So it's just like, yeah, I know. So then,
is it true though? Hang on. You told me that when the teacher leaned in, they also put like a hotel key card in your shirt front pocket. Is that true?
That's okay. That's inappropriate.
Did that not?
That's
okay.
That's not great.
All right.
It wasn't that kind of whispering. It was just like,
oh, okay. It was. I just assumed it was sultry.
It was just low talking because everybody else was taking the test.
They're a low talker.
Yes.
All right.
Now I have to wear this pirate shirt. Okay, so we move on to that evening when I go and take the final for the other class. And by then, I have already also turned in the final project for that class a few days prior to that. So once again, I have done the entire final project here and the test and everything, and I turn that in and all good. I go and finally exit the room, and I am halfway down the hallway when the teacher comes out of the room and says to me, "You did a real good job on the final project. You were the only person to get 100.
Wow.
I go,
okay.
Okay, great. Fine.
Oh, wrecking the curve.
And I, from then on, have to stifle laughing out loud as I continue on the way to my car, just because that was just that was the rougher of the three classes, and so I was just like,
good.
Okay, yeah. But the teacher was dingy, and I didn't really like him that much. In fact, no one really did.
Oh no,
it was very, very awkward and weird, and just like a guy who didn't seem to understand how to teach a class, even though he had done it before for years. Okay. I think it's just one of those things with the adjuncts. The adjuncts are just like a pick of the litter, and the litter ain't great to begin with. And so...
Don't you mean the runt of the litter?
Okay, sure. If that's the opposite of the pick. Okay,
yes, it is.
Fine.
All right.
Okay, Alex.
Well, I can see that your major wasn't dog analogies.
Anyway, two funny moments, cute moments there for me to cap off the actual end of my college career. And so I ended that on a high note, basically.
Yeah, go out on a high note, showmanship.
And that's how good I am at blowing away a bunch of 20-year-olds in
you
college.
Confessing to a murder right now?
No.
Oh.
It's still... No, we're still talking in metaphors.
Okay.
Still metaphorical here. Don't worry.
All right, sure.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm an A student.
When it comes to scholastics, you really murdered them.
Yeah.
All right.
That C in that math class last time was the worst I did in that entire school. So
hey, C's, I know you've heard this before. Get degrees.
I essentially aced all of community college, and then, it didn't do as well in the university, but still, like, didn't dip that much below a B. So.
Is community college as much fun as the TV show Community has led me to believe?
No, and goddamn it, what a letdown.
Yeah, right.
Really just, no. Well, I didn't join a study group. Maybe that's what I should have done.
Yes.
Maybe that would have brought on some wacky hijinks.
Or maybe we could have been roommates and watched movies together all the time.
Yeah. Yeah, Alex.
Yeah.
We could have done a lot of things together.
Or play Flower, Sun, and Rain together.
What?
What?
Oh, is this an E3 memory?
No, just...
No. I thought
it's an alternate timeline memory.
All right. Then why'd you bring that game up?
I don't know, because it's a game I associate with you.
Okay. Well, now I started thinking, did I bring that to E3 once? And I
don't know. I mean, I just assume you carry it with you all the time.
No. I'll tell you what, though. I got a 2-pack of new magazine files for my shelves, and I just used the other one to put all my Boku no Natsuasumi ephemera in it.
Okay.
All the stuff that's not an actual video game. So, yeah.
Okay. Did you write Boku no stuff on it?
No, I'm going to.
Yeah.
I also bought a label maker.
Nice.
But yeah, so we move on from getting out of...
Hang on. Did you get that label maker from Tim Watley?
No, I bought it from Amazon.
Okay. All right. Keep going.
So I move on from university to now being still 40 and now still having to get a job as if I am 20. But of course, the problem is that the job market is terrible. And especially in the kind of business that I'm interested in, that being video games, especially terrible. Because now everybody has decided that, all that crazy, fun-loving stuff we had in 2020 turned out didn't last. And so let's just lay off 10,000 people over the course of the year.
Give me some specifics.
Well, a bunch of video game companies laid a bunch of people off. And
no, I mean, what's all the fun stuff we can't have anymore?
Oh, mostly just hiring everybody willy-nilly.
Oh.
And spending a bunch of money on that and having like remote work until we figure out, that all like costs us like big time together. And like, not everybody in the world is staying home anymore and like buying or playing our games. And so, or using our apps or whatever. It's the whole tech industry, right? And so it was just like, I guess we can't sustain this. Let's lay people off. And then some other CEO goes, hey, those guys were laying people off. Is something wrong with them? Oh boy, is this going to happen to us? Well, we better lay the same number of people off. And so on and so forth.
I recall reading that even like after coming out to critical acclaim, winning awards, and selling a lot, most of the dev team of Baldur's Gate 3 got let go. What's up with that?
Was it Baldur's Gate?
Was it? I thought it was Bethesda.
No, Bethesda did not make Baldur's Gate 3. Bethesda did lay people off, yeah. Baldur's Gate 3 was developed by Larian.
Who?
A company called Larian.
All right.
Well, you better know their name. They won Game of the Year everywhere.
Larry?
Maybe it's an RPG term. I don't know. I'm not a nerd.
Larium? Is that an element?
No. Larian.
Yeah. Oh, IAN. Okay, I thought you were saying LARIUM.
Larian.
Okay, Larian. All right. Well, okay, maybe not them, but didn't Bethesda lay off a whole bunch of people after a successful launch?
I don't think so.
Who did? Somebody did.
There was Embracer, who previously for several years had bought up like a bunch of different huge game developers. And then they had a $2 billion deal fall through. And then we're like, we're going to have to stop. We're going to have to start shutting down some studios because we own like 150 studios. We're going to have to tighten the belt a bit. Goodbye, everybody.
Oh, boy.
And so I don't remember a huge Bethesda layoff, though. I think that was earlier last year.
It's very possible I had just read a, sensationalist headline on a social media.
Perhaps, yeah.
Because there's a lot of those. Did you know?
There's quite a bit. More than there used to be, it seems.
It's not great.
No, yeah. It's weird. it's not been great. And of course, my wife does have a job now, but it did take her about 6 months from her getting laid off in April, I believe it was.
Oh, yeah, because she was looking for something.
Yeah. But she does have a job now. I went to their Christmas party right after I graduated school.
Oh, wow.
Basically, the night after I had that final test. It's a small company, and so it wasn't like a big party. It was just like at a restaurant, just a group at a restaurant. So
cool.
I learned that, for example, it's a startup company, and I learned that they have a lot of somewhat older people, a lot of people with kids is what I mean. And so there is a better understanding of, work-life balance and what is going on in people's lives. And I thought that was cool. That was a good aspect of it. And
good.
She's getting paid more than ever. So that's also good. Yeah.
Yes.
And, but now in my situation, I feel like, well, we take my wife's strenuous time to get that done. So 6 months. And I would say, let's add about 2.5 times to that for me, I think, to get a job finally.
Well,
that's what I'm predicting anyway, because it is just harder for me in general. First of all, I don't have the kind of experience in finding a job as she does. And she has been on both sides of it before. She's had to find people to interview and such like, and I've not done that so much. And she's done all the LinkedIn networking sort of things. And
you talking about LinkedIn?
Yeah. And it's just stuff that I am not feeling great about and not good at. And thing is that all goes back to what I talked about, I think a few episodes ago now, where I really am trying to just not care as much. And when it comes to especially messaging people on LinkedIn, strangers or something, and being like, yes, I applied to this job. Someone who is related professionally in the company to maybe the actual hiring manager, just, you message a random person and go like, hey, could you help me connect to this person, et cetera, et cetera. I kind of have to get over that. I kind of also have to get over the related thing of maybe asking for a coffee chat from somebody, which is where you just kind of have like a short non-interview kind of chat with somebody about what the job might be like and what they do and things like that. And
that seems like it's less stress than an actual interview.
Yeah, but it is more stressed for me because it's part of that cold calling thing that we just mentioned a while ago. And it's just
gross.
Yeah, it's gross. And there, it's just, well, we're getting now into the social anxiety weeds, but it's just one of those things where it's like, it's really hard for me to get past that because I have a bunch of built up fears and expectations of what people might be thinking when I come up to them, virtually or whatever, and for something like that. And I don't know what to say at first. I don't know if I'm coming off right, things of that nature. And so it's just tough. I'm sorry. It's a big jumbled mess in my head. I'm trying to explain it somewhat articulately. I'm not really doing that, but not great. And I really wouldn't wish it on my best friend.
Hey, oh, you wouldn't. Okay.
Yeah, no.
Okay. Wait, is that me?
For now, yes.
Okay. Oh, shit. Hang on. I'm loading up MySpace. Make sure I'm still in your top 8.
Okay, yeah. No, yes, you still are.
Okay. Oh, jeez. Oh, wow. And all of my dummy accounts are the other 7. That's pretty good. Wow, you found those. Wow.
Art vandalay.
It's embarrassing, but it's actually fart vandalay.
Anyway, at least I'm still supported by my wife. The thing is that I would like to not have to only be that for the foreseeable future. You know what I mean? It's just like, it would be nice if I could be a professional person again.
Right.
And have some kind of job. It's just that it's a really, really incredibly shitty market.
Yes, and but you're ready for when the market unshittifies. If the market unshittifies?
Yeah, that's okay. There's the other thing, isn't it?
Yeah, but I mean, at least you're prepared. That's where you want to be.
I suppose.
You don't have any control over the market. You do have control over what your own qualifications are.
Yeah.
There you go.
Meaning what?
Meaning you got your degree now, so you can move forward in confidence that you are doing all that you can do. Be all that you can be. Join the army.
That's a good way to talk about it, I guess, in the sense that, it's a box that's checked off, and I don't mean that in a minimized way, but it is like, it's a lot like a retro achievement, isn't it, Alex?
Yeah.
It's something I should have got a long time ago.
Yeah, it is. It is that.
Right?
Yeah.
Right, folks?
Sure.
Twitch.tv/Hoda
Thank you. It's, I don't know. I think about this a lot. I always say if I could go back in time, I would skip college and just start studying Japanese. But I don't know. I mean,
no kidding. Yeah.
But I think that you do need, because those are your formative years still. And I think you do kind of need to be molded into a responsible person. And I didn't really get a lot out of college, but I guess it contained me for those few years.
Right. Like everybody.
Yeah. Otherwise I would have been out doing stupid things. You know, I'd probably still just be playing video games all day and not studying. I mean, yeah, because when I say that I would skip college and go right to studying, I say that as if I could just put my 40-year-old brain back in my 18-year-old body.
Yeah.
But I can't do that. I've tried.
You can't when it comes to studying. I know, because I've talked about this before, where it's just like back then I didn't want to do it because I was more upset about the whole situation, you know, and more depressed about other things. And which we'll talk about on a game site about nothing in Corn Games About It. But and that sort of leveled out over the years. And once I guess had a job and had some sense of what it's like to be responsible for oneself and living alone and things like that, it's just like, okay, yeah, I just want the schoolwork to be over as soon as possible, and so I will do my homework.
Yes, there was like a psychological block for me when it came to learning things. That is kind of like I was checking off boxes because I knew I had to graduate, because that's a big box you have to check off. Well, that means I have to take classes. To pass those classes, I have to pass tests and do reading. I just saw them all as means to an end, as boxes to check off, and was not really absorbing a lot from the classes. It's just, well, I have to do this to get the thing I want, so I guess I'll do it. And then after I graduated and came over here to work and got tired of working, and I realized, wait, you can just teach yourself fucking anything at any time. And if it's a skill that you need to do a thing that you want, it's so much easier to learn it. Yeah. I was not making the connection when I was a student that like, oh no, you're supposed to be retaining this information. It's not just to pass a test to get a degree. Like, you can retain it.
Exactly.
And I just wouldn't, because I didn't care.
Yeah.
I was eager to be out so my life could start.
Yeah.
And then I realized, and then I just realized later on, like, oh no, you can study anything, anytime at your own pace, and it's great. It's the best. But
it's also, you say you ready for your life to start. It's like, well, could you just do this for 4 years? Like, 4 years is not that long. And that's the sort of thing that we have to impart to the younger generation and our kids. I can't wait to get that through my kid's head, where it's just like, yeah, you just kind of have to do this work and just get it over with. And,
I think my frame of mind at the time was like, I think it was the same. I had the same state of mind as high school, which was like, I know this won't go on forever, but I'm going to act as if it is.
Yeah.
Because I want it to. Because all I want to do is have no responsibilities except some easy classwork, and I get to play games every day, maybe hang out with friends. I just took that high school mentality into college, but because that mentality didn't really change along the way, by the time I got out of college, I was like, uh-oh, now what?
Yeah.
And then came over here and just, for the first, probably the entire 8 years I was an English teacher, just still acted like a shitty high schooler. I had stupid expectations. I had no real abilities. I had nothing going for me.
I could have said the same thing about being 23 and just, even living in San Francisco, even at One Up, which is a general thing, I think, for a lot of people. Even when you're 23, it's not like you're fully mature. You have you're just out of that college age. And so now you need to start learning some actual adult stuff. And it goes through for everybody in different ways. And it did for me as well. And it takes a while to shake off, for sure.
It does. I've only felt like it was only after I quit drinking that I started to feel like I was shaking any of it off.
Mm-hmm.
And then after 4, like the way that I describe the feeling is, especially after 4 years, I feel like I've reverted to where I was supposed to be out of college.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm finally at the place where my mind was supposed to be like 17 years ago.
Just like just like how I feel right now.
Yeah.
Well, at least we got there at mostly the same time.
Yeah. Hey, high five.
Great.
Hey, we did it.
Yeah. Well, anyway, maybe something good will happen to me.
Oh, no. That cannot be the new slogan for the podcast. Don't put that on a t-shirt.
I know. There's a whole year ahead, of course.
Yes.
A lot of different things can happen. It's just, in terms of the actual act and cultural sort of right of having to find a job where you work for somebody else, not fun. Not a good thing. Not something I like to do all day, and in fact don't. But still pretty hard and generally stupid.
Pretty awful.
But I still have things I want to do for myself, and I still have ideas, and we're also going to work on those and
that's fun.
See what happens along the way. Well, that's it. That's my news.
Cool.
As far as the college thing. It's done. It's over. Well, I hope so. I mean, they haven't actually done all the auditing yet, so maybe I won't have a diploma. Maybe they'll say, "Oops, you didn't take intro to hamster life cycle," and then I have to go back and take that. Who knows?
Isn't that the freebie class where you just get to play Virtua Hamster?
It's a credit requirement.
Okay.
Listen, this school is in the #1 hamster breeding area in the nation.
Okay.
They really want you to learn about it.
I would like to take Applied Hamtaro with you.
Oh, wouldn't that be nice?
That would be great.
Too bad Hamtaro stopped being relevant to even the Zoomers.
What? What do you mean?
Yeah, the kids graduating college, they don't care about Hamtaro.
Oh, man.
I mean, maybe the people 10 years younger than us, but yeah, anyone younger than that? Nah, I don't think so.
Barf.
Not working out.
All right. Well, okay. Folks, this episode has been a lot of just down conversation. Just a lot of, we're trying to be positive here.
Yeah, well, yes, we are trying to be positive. It's not like we're acting all hopeless and mopey, but...
I mean, even in the face of this, I'm not saying this is your fault, but even in the face of good news, like you just graduated, comes the outpouring of, but graduated into what? Look at this job market. Yeah. Look at all the shit we have to do these days to even consider thinking about approaching someone to maybe ask for considering giving you a job.
Right. Well, and even still, the whole thing of like, oh, I'm 40. I don't feel good about that either.
No.
That whole
thing.
I
feel great being 40. I don't mind being 40. Being 40 is great.
40's the new 20.
We started this show in our 20s.
Yeah, that's right.
Remember that?
Late 20s.
That's right. Yeah, so... It's all fine. What did you get for Christmas? Let's talk about that.
All right. I got a gift card.
Okay.
I got some Xbox gift card money as well. And so I use that to pre-order Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth.
Oh.
So that's taken care of.
Cool.
I got a Pantone.
Cool.
Did I get anything else it was so long ago.
The only thing I really needed was a new phone case, which received and great. And now my old shitty iPhone SE2 looks like a new phone.
Now it looks like a new shitty SE2.
I also took I didn't realize exactly how much dust and crap was trapped under the screen protector. I took the screen protector off. I Windexed the phone, put it in the new case. It looks like I have a new phone. It's incredible.
Of course, yeah.
It's outstanding.
Everybody's phone, yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody's phone in a case is like that.
Folks, yeah, give your phone a makeover.
You know what? It's the start of the year. Let's take that out of the case and give it a good scrubbing.
Yes, it's time. Look at your phone. You might not think it's time, but it's time.
Yeah, no, it's always time.
Yeah.
Which is the thing, yeah.
My wife and I also went halvesies on a scale because up until now, we had no way of knowing how much we weighed.
Okay.
That's exciting. I got her a humidifier because she wanted a nice humidifier for the living room.
Oh, yeah.
And that's about it. And I gave her that company, and that's about it. That's all.
Yes. Congratulations. Yeah.
Now, for New Year's, we did what in Japan is called Hatsumode, which is your first shrine visit of the year. Fortunately, we live just down the block from a shrine.
Yeah. How many shrine visits do you do in a year?
Just the one.
Okay.
So in a way, it's also my what would be last
supper, last rites?
Saigo mode. I don't know.
Yeah.
I got myself a charm, which I have on my mic stand right now.
All right.
And we prayed, we walked around. It was very nice. There were people there. They were some of the priests were cooking yams. They were smoking up yams in tinfoil.
That's right. Great. That's a thing.
Yeah. Just a very nice afternoon. Then we went for a nice walk in the park. It was a walk in the park, let me tell you.
Yes.
It was very easy and delightful.
All right, not bad.
We just had a nice lunch. The point is, I got to relax. I have 4 days off. This might be the most time off I have all year. Typically, this year I went home for Thanksgiving, but typically this is like my big vacation. Is I give myself 2 extra days off, and I'm back to work tomorrow. It's gonna be great. I can play 3DS now. Gonna play a game there while I wait for people to not come in.
All right, your Retronauts homework.
Yeah, I got to do it. God, homework never ends, does it?
Yeah. Well, I don't know about relaxing, but my kids' daycare was off for 2 weeks. They took their winter break.
Right.
And so for a lot of that first week, I decided to take him to random stores and
like Saks Fifth Avenue.
Well, no.
Neiman Marcus?
No.
Target.
How about Target?
Oh, really? Hey, all right.
Listen, I took him to Target because for one thing, he was starting to walk a bit more. And so I thought, well, we can practice walking. It's Christmas. Maybe he can go look at some toys. Well, that part, not so much, but it was also part of just like warming him up to new stores, because the thing is that he's cool with going to the grocery store. But if I take him to somewhere slightly unfamiliar like Target, or he hasn't been that many times, he'll start getting upset and crying if I set him down or leave him in the cart or something. Not leave him in the cart, but put him in the cart and, don't pick him up and hug him or anything. So I was trying to warm him up and just like take him around the store a little bit and hold him for a while and maybe set him down on his feet and be like, you ready to walk around? No, not yet, not yet. After a little bit of doing that, he finally warmed up and found something that he liked to want to go and touch and reach around. And then he finally started to walk around the entire floor of the area of the store and just
oh, wow,
go off in a direction. He went around in circles in the clothes department a few times.
Nice.
And he was properly warmed up.
Wow.
And had a fun time. He does like to basically go right in a straight line and not care about who's about to cross his path or anything.
He's adventurous.
Yes, he very much is. And then, the next day I took him to Best Buy for sort of the same thing.
Jeez.
The thing is that Best Buy doesn't have a lot of stuff that is at his eye level, if I wanted to have him play with a mouse and keyboard or whatever, because he loves tapping on keyboards and stuff, I'd have to pick him up and hold him the whole entire time. And, he walked around a little bit, but he wasn't really feeling it because it's, at his eye level, Best Buy is kind of gray and boring.
Yeah.
So I get it. So we weren't there that long. But then, we also went to the mall and stuff. And then...
the stereotype is true, right? Kids be shopping.
Yeah. And then as a family, we went to this event in San Jose called Enchant, which is where they take over the soccer stadium and put like a light show maze, like a Christmas light maze.
Oh, cool.
Sort of thing. And maze is a really charitable term because it's not like some actual like hedge maze where you would actually get lost or have difficulty. It's just a thing for families to walk around and see a bunch of pretty lights. And boy, he loved that. He was playing with all the different lights. He loved looking at all of it. He liked walking around, the whole thing. He loved it. And this was in the evening and he wasn't like scared or anything like that. It was very, very nice. And so he was properly like warmed up and also like extra emboldened to walk around. And so by the time the week was over, he had finally officially just stopped wanting to crawl. And
wow.
so
Kid's putting in his 10,000 steps.
He's basically just walking for real now, walking forever. And
pretty good.
Yeah. And then, I went to the mall again, I think a couple of days ago. And more so where he was just like, we put him down in the actual, like the main mall walking areas and just like keeping a very close eye on him. He's just like trying not to get trampled by people. Not that it was super crowded or anything, but it was just kind of a fun little thing. Because again, you might put him in one direction. You might point him in one direction. He'll immediately 180 and go behind you because he wants to go somewhere else. And also tended to like walk towards exits. So like we were in Target or even Best Buy, he would just go in a straight line.
That's just
straight for
first.
the door. Yes, of course. He knows where all the exits are.
Good.
But just funny. So,
or it's also possible he's thinking, this sucks, I'm out of here.
Yeah. And so today, daycare was open again. So he went back to daycare, and then he came back like starting to talk a little bit more, not like actual words, but things where he's starting to pronounce and try things a bit more than he was a couple of weeks ago. And so
cool.
We think he's trending up.
Wow.
So yeah, things are looking good for him.
What kind of snacks do they give in daycare? Is it still graham crackers?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't know about snacks. We do know what lunch he has, like lunch meal, but I don't know about snacks so much. We give him crackers, of course, teething crackers and stuff.
Yeah.
Actual. Yeah.
I do. I think for a very long time, I associated the word snack with a cracker with peanut butter on it, because that was the earliest snack I remember receiving as a kid. Sure. And loving it. Loving it.
Of course.
I would, God, I'm tempted to make some today. Make is in quotes.
Yes. I'm not even sure how I would equate it now in my head, but.
Snack. Yeah, snack. It's got so many meanings.
It's mostly just what's in the house right now.
Right?
What did I buy at the store that might be snack-like?
Shark bites?
No, I don't get those.
Oh, shit. I bought some Nintendo fruit snacks. I left them at the bar. Don't worry. They keep. Okay.
They're not from the 80s? They're from today? Okay.
No, I believe they are Mario movie branded. Again, not the original movie.
Okay.
We all want Bob Hoskins fruit snacks.
Still, April vintage? I hope not, because that movie came out in April? Okay.
No, but there's still very strong marketing recognition.
Yeah. So yeah, I had that plan to keep my kid walking and checking out some public spaces, and it worked out, and I'm glad about that. And that was
pretty good.
Our lead up to Christmas there.
That's nice.
And then one of his Christmas gifts that we got him was a toy oven, a Little Tykes oven, because he, whenever dinner's being made, he loves to run up to the oven and start playing with the knobs. And
God,
we cannot really properly discipline him, because I'll say, hey, don't do that. And he will just look at me and laugh and smile, because it's a game to him. And he loves tricking and playing with me in that way. So
I think there may be a very harsh hot stove lesson coming.
It hasn't been quite that bad yet. It's mostly just, hey, just don't touch the knobs where the gas comes out.
Here's some advice to you, a dad, from me, a former child, because I did have a hot stove moment when I was a kid, exactly as described, in fact. But even worse than that was I had a dad's razor moment as a kid, because my dad, I can't get angry at the guy for leaving a razor out in his own bathroom, but I was just wandering around, grabbed his razor off from the sink, and was just looking at it, handling it, examining it like a toy, running my fingers all over it. And then realized when all of my fingers were bleeding that, I shouldn't touch this ever.
Man. Oh, yeah, boy. Okay. Now I'm getting the chills.
Yeah. So just put your razors away, parents, because kids like to explore. So yeah, after slicing up all my fingers, I think I was so I knew that was bad. It was also, it was the first time I'd ever seen blood without initial pain, because the cuts were so clean. I didn't feel anything. It was just bleeding and pain now.
Yeah.
And I thought I was going to be in such big trouble that I didn't tell anyone. I just wrapped my fingers in paper towels for an hour until I knew it was fine.
How old are you?
This was in elementary school. Old enough to know better, possibly.
Yeah.
So it was probably, but no, I want to say between 6 and 8.
Okay.
Because I mean, when you're that age, you don't know. I mean, I certainly didn't know not to touch a razor. I don't know what I knew that a razor was a thing you dragged across your face, and then it didn't look as dark because your stubble was gone. I didn't realize that it was like doing that because it was cutting the hairs. I thought it was just like a magic hair sweeper.
Yeah. Well, not that I won't properly educate him on that stuff, but I do also just keep my razor hung up in the shower on a hook there. So
that's good. Yeah. I keep mine in the shower.
Yeah.
It's it's convenient.
But my dad had the old razor that you had to put the blades in.
Ugh.
And so there was a stash of razor blades, like the full-on ones. And,
oh God.
I never played with it or anything. I didn't really care, I guess. But yeah, I just remember that. I imagine maybe your dad's was the same.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, funny. Yeah.
Who can say?
Sorry, not funny that you injured yourself. But.
No. Well, it's funny in retrospect.
Mm-hmm.
Is it? Sure.
Well, you lived through it.
I did. Or did I?
You're still standing.
I'm sitting.
Now, I have a story related, which is even more gross.
Oh.
But didn't happen to me.
Oh.
I wonder if I told this before. The time I was with my dad while he was working in the garage and something, and I don't even know how he did it. He had a saw and accidentally cut his under wrist, and it started gushing purple blood.
No!
And
Stop
my
it!
God.
Stop it!
It was insane.
No.
Yeah, well, it was fine. He was calm. Nothing bad happened necessarily. It was just quite a sight to see because you're just like, you're stunned. It's just like, what is going on? It's just a silent, stunned thing. We're like, okay, Dad just needs to go now and take care of that. But wow, It was just impressive. Well, you unsettled me and I unsettled you. There we go.
All right, no more unsettling stories.
And I apologize to the audience.
Oh my God.
There may be a content warning coming up.
I mean, no, it's not so much that. Is it finding out that your dad is, a space alien?
Yeah. Well, I think I was a little bit older than even you were. I think I was probably 8 or 9 at that point. So it's like maybe even 10. I don't really remember, but it was just like, yeah, that's crazy. Oh boy. Cool. Don't do that.
Ooh.
Don't let that happen to you.
No.
Again, he was fine in the end. No hospital or anything like that. It was just
good. Okay. All right.
Just a crazy sight that needed to be handled appropriately.
God, there's not to retell a story from another podcast, but there's I think Scott Aukerman had a story about he had a movie watching party at his house one day, and he invited Paul Rust over, and they've been watching movies all day, but they're like slow roasting pulled pork or something, and everyone is starving because it's been stewing all day, and they're finally about to eat it. And Paul Rust is the first one in the kitchen and goes to cut a roll and just slices through his thumb and blood shoots up, hits the ceiling, and a lot of it also lands inside the crock pot where the pork is.
Yeah.
So all the pork is ruined. And then Scott had to drive Paul to the hospital.
Yeah.
And Paul felt so bad for just ruining everyone's day.
Yeah, that's similar to what happened to my dad. Yeah.
Okay.
I'll leave it at that.
Boy.
Anyway.
Oh, boy. See, I had a very, very small blood spurt. Sorry, this is not the blood episode, folks. This is my last blood thing.
Halloween was 2-3 months ago.
I know. Look, we record late, okay? I might have mentioned this before, but when I'm at work, I'm constantly fiddling and playing around with my spill rag.
Yeah.
And by playing with it all the time, it dries out my hands. Also, the act of constantly washing glasses dries out your hands.
Is there anything you won't fiddle with?
No. The stock market.
If it keeps your hands busy, maybe.
It might actually.
We got some apps for you.
And I went home one day and my hands were so dry. They were so desiccated and moistureless.
Wow, how good is this rag?
And it's great. What I do is I like to I say this like it's a fun hobby. I like to put away dishes when I get home. Just if they're dry next to the sink, I'll put them away.
It's a little thing I do.
My wife had used the food processor and she dried the blade. She washed and dried the blade to the food processor.
Yeah.
And I went to grab the blade from the food processor and I I picked it up and I turned it over in my hand to put it away, and the act of turning it over so very cleanly sliced my finger that a little blood spurt popped out and then immediately, receded. It was not very deep. It was just that one.
Okay.
But it was such a clean cut, I didn't feel it. I saw the blood first and I'm like,
yeah.
Was there red sauce on this blade? Why is this? How did I get red sauce? Oh, that's pulsing. Oh, that's me.
Never mind. That sauce tastes tinny.
Yeah, not great.
Yeah.
Ugh. So I guess if your hands are dry enough, they're just easier to slice. So watch out, dry people.
All right, have we got it out of our system in a manner of speaking?
Yeah, wow, sorry this got gross. Holy
Okay.
crap. Yeah, let's take a quick break. I need to eat a roll, and then I'll be right back.
All right, careful of the dishwasher.
No, we don't have a dishwasher.
Careful of the sink that you wash dishes in.
We don't have a big bowl.
Folks, we're back. It's No More Whoppers. I'm Ray. That's Alex.
Hi!
In the intervening moment, my power blipped out, and we had to reconnect.
Oh, God.
Not that bad, though.
Emotionally,
but who knows? We could be on borrowed time at this point, so... Let's wrap up the show. That's been the show. Thanks for...
Wait, no!
Oh.
Not quite yet. I mean, we still have voicemail, right?
Do we?
What?
Do we?
Well, let's go to the voicemail. Turns out, no.
Oh. Well,
so to make sure we do for the next episode, why don't you give us a call at 805-NMW-TALK? That's 805-669-8255.
Tell us what you did for Christmas in February, because that's when we're going to get to it. So,
please, step 1.
Make a phone call.
Do it.
Hell, you can call us in April and tell us what you did for Christmas.
That works too. Please keep it under a minute.
Yeah, well, of course. So no fan fun, no other fun. Or is there? No. Let me ask you something.
It's... What?
What, did you have something?
I was just going to say that I think for us it's still, the holidays.
Yeah, more or less. I guess.
We're taking it easy. That means that this show is... look, we're coming off of a break. We don't have everything that you may want from a rich, full-bodied show, but we still have us.
Yeah. I'm coming off of a school. I mean, it's a whole
I'm coming off of an earthquake.
Yes. There's
a lot of shit going on for both of us right now that kind of puts us in a weird headspace.
Such is the holiday funk, I suppose. But
yeah. But you know what? I will promise, I will speak on behalf of both of us. I promise 100% we will be there. We will make it for your recital.
Yeah. I've got to see you play Wagner.
Is this okay? I mean, I could sing it.
Now I'm getting hiccups. Excuse me, Alex. I got it.
Oh no! Is that related to the power?
Yes, I think so.
Oh no!
It was a power hiccup. And it affects me on a physiological level. Oh brother. Okay. Whew. What happened? All right. I got one thing to end the show with, I think, maybe.
What's that?
Let me ask you something.
Give it to me.
Have you heard of a sitcom from the 80s called Anything But Love?
No.
All right. I found this on my travels. It was from, I think, 1988 or 9. It seemed to be kind of a sitcom aimed at women. And it was on ABC. And it was later reran on Lifetime channels, if that tells you anything.
Oh, wow.
And the principal actors of this sitcom were Jamie Lee Curtis.
Okay.
And Richard Lewis.
What?
Now, the thing
That's an unlikely combo.
Well, it's even more unlikely because when you watch the show, it's very sedate. Like, for a sitcom, there are not a lot of laugh breaks, and there's not even a lot of raucous laughing, even compared to other sitcoms of the time. And so it's a very soft and sort of easygoing sitcom of these two will they or won't they types who work in an office and such. And oh, by the way, they work in an office that was later used as the office set for the Drew Carey show. So you can pretend it happens in the Drew Carey show universe.
Oh, the prequel.
Yeah. So they use that set. But yeah, because of that, and the theme song and such, it's just kind of soft and created by a woman, I believe. Yeah, created by Wendy Kaut was her name. And so it just kind of has like this sort of subtle, sort of 80s kind of feminine approach to it. And when I saw Richard Lewis, I had the same reaction as you. I'm like, Richard Lewis? This is a guy who was pretty popular in the 80s. And his comedy act is not sedate. In fact, quite the opposite. But I mean, hey, good for him. He was getting some good TV money on this. I just didn't know this was like a long gig for him. This was 4 seasons, I should add. Wow. Yeah. 89 to 92.
I think it was either Richard Lewis or Paul Reiser or any older comedian. One of the few episodes of Never Not Funny I had to just skip because they had such horrible dry mouth. They were just constantly clicking into the microphone and it activated my misophonia. And I had to pull. The way I described it at the time was I was listening to it on the way to work. I had to pull my bike over and then take my phone out and fucking Takahashi Meijin 16-shot the fast forward button until it was at the end of the episode.
Okay.
Because I could not deal with the mouth noises.
Yeah, okay. That's a really relevant story. I'm glad you told
Sorry. No, it's because I think it was the Richard Lewis episode. I think because they're old men now. And I think he just had super old man dry mouth and right into the microphone. No, thank you.
Right. Yes.
Okay. Keep going. Any which way but loose. Keep going.
Well, I was just going to say, go ahead and check out an episode on YouTube or whatever of this show, Anything But Love, and you'll see what I mean. It was just kind of surprising because what we think of as sitcoms, even back in the 80s or even today, it's like a whole lot of laughing every second.
Wow.
Basically. A whole lot of jokes and fake laughing every which way. And this one, not so much. It kept it pretty subtle.
But there still was canned laughter.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
But it's like the thing also when you have stand-up comedians in a sitcom, they will sort of integrate their jokes into the script, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, right.
Or if not based on their act entirely, like Everybody
Loves Raymond. Yeah, there we go.
But, you know, you'll find those bits of the script that are very similar to their act, and it's like, well, Richard Lewis doesn't really do that. He's quippy because he's Richard Lewis in that sense, but it's still like kind of laughter. It's not people laughing at Richard Lewis typically. It's just people laughing at whatever is going on screen. And very, very, very strange. I guess interesting in the sense that, yeah, this was kind of a different kind of sitcom at the time and it lasted long. So I was just taken aback, that's all. And as someone who has a passing interest in the study of sitcoms, I guess, it's interesting to me. That's all. Check it out.
Oh, boy.
Or don't. I just thought it was really weird that it was Richard Lewis, and that was like it was like his job for a while. I thought he was just being Richard Lewis on some other show.
I got weird sitcom vibes recently. I forget what it might have been an old Laser Time I was listening to. They played some clips from the post Seinfeld shows that the Seinfeld cast went on to do.
Yeah, right.
And Michael Richards went on to do this. It was just called The Michael Richards Show, wasn't it? He was like a private detective. And the clip they played, it was just nothing but a string of misogyny. It was just like, I guess that's a late 90s sitcom. I guess that's what you'd put in a script. It felt very out of place and just very weird. And then the Jason Alexander clip from whatever show he was on was him singing a song about how much soccer sucks. And it very much seemed like did you just want to sing real bad? I didn't, I haven't seen the episode. I don't know if it was music centric, but it seemed very awkward and very out of place and very like, both of them felt like if this was anybody else in these roles, this would be canceled after one episode, and it's you guys, and they were still canceled after only a few episodes.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. It's yeah, that was a weird time.
Yeah.
That and also Joey.
Yeah.
The Joey Show, I'm sure is what half of America called it. Which was Joey moving to LA, and so that necessitated a complete change of cast other than Matt LeBlanc. Yeah, weird stuff.
But do please check out my my crossover, my Gyakuten Saiban crossover, Trials and Tribbiani's.
Yeah. Okay, great.
Right,
I will.
you.
Yeah.
Thanks.
We'll do that as our next bonus show. On that point though, I want to say like it was weird kind of living through those spin-offs at a time when like spin-offs weren't like happening a lot in the 90s.
Yeah.
Like, Frasier kind of kicked it off, but Frasier was a mainstay. But like you go back in the 70s and 80s, and it was like 5 spin-offs of Happy Days, 92 different versions of Archie Bunker.
Yes.
And it's like the Jeffersons spin-off from this, spin-off from that. Perfect Strangers spin-off, or no, Family Matters spun off of Perfect Strangers. Just weird. And then by the time the 90s actually hit, it's like, no, these sitcoms are one and done.
And I think because of that, when we did start to see those spin-offs in the mid to late 90s, if they felt very out of place. They stuck out like almost in a desperate way. Like, hey, we know the main popular show's ending, but like, you like this character, right? You like this person? Yeah. Why don't you watch more of them, please?
Yep.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
Yeah.
And don't forget the Tortellis.
The who? You're thinking of the Fratellis.
No, Tortellis.
Oh, okay.
The first spin-off of Cheers.
Oh.
With Dan Hedaya.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
No.
Well, I love laughs.
And I love the 80s.
But we must end the laughs here.
We do. Oh, wait, I did want to mention real quick. Finally, you know, we're the same way, I think. We are very hesitant to look at any kind of feedback for anything we've ever done.
Okay. Yeah. Hesitant? Okay.
Like, I finally looked at all the comments on my first YouTube video.
Oh, I see. Yes.
Yeah. And not overwhelming, but there were more than a few people saying, hey, this is great. Can you do more videos like this? And I thought, yeah. You know, I didn't start the channel just to make the one.
No, of course.
Contrary to popular belief. And I got an idea. My second one's up now. Thank you for helping me design a thumbnail.
Yeah.
It's called New Game.
I didn't do much. I took a screenshot.
You nudged me in the right direction. Yeah. Okay. Where'd you get that though? Because I fired up my emulator because I'm like, I must have an endgame save that has New Game Plus unlocked. And I sure didn't.
I found a screenshot.
Oh, you found a screenshot?
Yeah.
Okay. So
I don't have a save to give you. Sorry.
I see. That's fine. It's a new series called New Game Plus about quitting booze. It's not for everybody. It's just for if you don't want booze. And I'll put out more here and there as if people give me questions, I will answer them on that show about what it's like to not drink and also what it's like to not drink in Japan, which I imagine if you're not me is a lot harder if you work at a company that has to go out for, nomikais and shit. I bet that's a lot rougher than me who doesn't have to worry about that. The third,
talk about networking. Like the worst about Japan is the forced networking.
Yeah. God, I remember that was an early Tim Rogers blog entry was him talking about he was working at a Japanese company and he did not fit with the corporate culture because everyone drank and smoked and he did not. And his colleagues would all go out for smoke breaks all the time and he could not. And then they'd go to nomikais and he would just kind of sit there and not do anything because he did not drink or smoke.
Yeah.
I totally get it.
Well, also, does Tim Rogers fit with any corporate culture?
No, there's also that. Yeah. He doesn't seem like what you would call traditionally employable.
Yeah.
In that sense, in a traditional sense. Anyway, I have a third actual video in the works. Don't worry, nerds. It is video game related.
Okay.
Because remember when we watched the game, I almost called them the Game Rewards.
I'm a member.
Remember when we watched the 2023 Game Rewards?
Yeah.
And they gave best indie game to Sea of Stars? I was baffled by the Sea of Stars love when it came out, but I think I get it. I think just casual people wanted something that looked like an RPG they played when they were a kid, and I guess that's fine.
Yeah, that's the reason. Anyway, did I spoil your video? Sorry.
And then it went, shut up, and then it won Best Indie Game at the Game Awards, which I know means nothing. But then last week or so, there was an interview with Yuji Horii and Hironobu Sakaguchi and the other guy, who were involved with Chrono Trigger. And first
Toriyama?
of all, no. Someone, I forget who it was, whoever conducted the interview asked them, hey, what's the chances of a Chrono Trigger 2? And I think very, very clearly the answer was no, please stop. But they did mention in this interview that they were impressed with Sea of Stars. And that is what set me off. That is what started my brain rolling down this hill of, I have to talk about this game. I can't not talk about this now. If the guys are praising it, even if it's just lip service, even if it's just, we know we inspired this, looks great, kids, even if it's just that. And it very much is. It does almost seem like a backhanded compliment, because I think the exact wording was like, yep, it looks just like Chrono Trigger. Which, like, as if to say, like, yeah, okay, you can make a game that looks like Chrono Trigger, but we know it doesn't feel like it. And that's kind of the focus of the video is, what went wrong with Sea of Stars, because it looks beautiful. Obviously,
Sure.
Visually it's great. The soundtrack is very good. Why does it not stick? And to do this, I'm going back and actually I'm replaying Chained Echoes right now, which I did not like on launch. For what I refer to as reference poisoning, but I'm going back and I'm gonna highlight what Chained Echoes actually does well, and compare that to see if I don't know what the overall focus is going to be. It's going to be RPG love letters probably, just as a whole. But those are the two that I'm focusing on, and oh boy, please look forward to it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it could have been lip service, but I would also say, a lot of Japanese love out there for stuff like Detroit Become Human.
Yes.
So, people not always looking at things with the greatest perspective. But then again, it goes both ways because, I can't think of a game off the top of my head. But, we idolize a bunch of Japanese games that maybe some of those people over there, they might think, you must be crazy for thinking that game was any good. It goes both ways, is what I'm saying.
It does. It absolutely does. There was just something about seeing the Chrono Trigger guys praising Sea of Stars that made something in my brain stand up and say, this cannot stand. I take issue with this, and I don't know, maybe it's because their pal Yasunori Mitsuda worked on it. Which, by the way, there's a quote on the Sabotage Studios website from Mitsuda, which I may or may not use in the video, where they basically describe his input as, oh, here it is. Mitsuda represents exactly what Sea of Stars needed to feel truly whole. Does he? Does he, though? I think you're missing a few other things. I'll get to it in my video.
All right.
Yeah.
Please look forward to it.
Yes.
Boy, also, I was going to ask you about this thing, tenuously linked to Sea of Stars, but not really. Do you remember, I think you talked about this on No More Operas way back, when you were talking about the videos on YouTube from the completionist and how you really hated his sidekick guy who got booted or whatever. Do you remember that? Remember those griping
Wait,
moments?
I don't even remember who his sidekick was.
Oh, really? Well, it was the entire focus of your complaint. Was that this other guy who was like the narrator or something? I hadn't really seen any of those in a long time.
Okay. I don't remember when this may have been from. But yeah, he's been
a really annoying guy.
Yeah, okay.
He's a really annoying sidekick guy you didn't like. Anyway, yeah. And now the completionist himself has kind of booted his own career.
Yeah, he was taken out of Sea of Stars.
Yeah.
He was in the game as a character and has been removed.
Which is, and made reference to donations.
Oh boy. Yeah.
Oh. Lordy.
What happened? His foundation was taking donation money and just not donating it?
That's the crux of it, yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's hey, don't do that.
Or do donate it, yeah.
Yeah.
Don't not donate it.
The nice thing about dealing with there's a lot of headaches in dealing with Streamlabs Streamlabs Charities, is that what it's called? Because all the money that was donated to Tell Japan goes directly to Tell Japan after Streamlabs takes its little cut. But yeah, I am never actually in possession of any of that money. Obviously, it all goes right to Tell. Yeah. But yeah, that's I guess when you organize your own foundation, you got to make sure that the shit is set up right.
Yeah,
there's got to be there's like a pipeline. There's a flow.
You know that Gerard and John Tron were collaborators at once. They knew each other for a while.
Yes.
They both, I think, came from that affluent sort of Southern California community. And so I'm sure a lot of things happened on the business side of that with their families that maybe aren't so great as we've seen. You got some wheeling and dealing, maybe not so much wheeling, but plenty of dealing. It doesn't work out. What am I saying? I don't know. But boy, that got messy quick, didn't it?
Yeah.
Oh boy. Just a lovely bunch of people.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, that's it. That's my final thing for you.
That will not be mentioned in the video I'm currently working on because it's not really relevant to.
But it made me think of that.
But yeah, it's relevant to this conversation, certainly.
I was going to bring it up eventually on the show and also reference the fact that, I used to hate his sidekick guy. I remember you complaining about that.
I don't even remember his sidekick guy anymore.
Yeah.
Wow,
yeah.
Do I have brainworms?
Great. Probably.
Cool.
Good thing you're sober.
Yes. Or it would be even worse. Man, that's the harshest realization of getting sober. And I've probably mentioned this before, but the harshest realization was, oh no, I'm just really fucking clumsy. I'm just clumsy all the time. That wasn't a booze thing. That's just how I am. That fucking sucks.
No, I really am Dick Van Dyke.
It's the
constant ottomans in my life.
Yeah, I got to clear them out. There's like 9 ottomans in our living room right now. It's very comfy. It's very plush, but it's dangerous. It's hazardous.
Rosemary.
Thank you.
Shall we wind down the show?
Yes.
Let's do it. Okay. Thanks, everybody, for listening. It's No More Whoppers. You can go to our website, nomorewhoppers.com, to find everything important, including a link to our Patreon, patreon.com/nomorewhoppers. I just said the link, so maybe you don't even have to go to the website, but you should go to this website, patreon.com/nomorewhoppers. You can donate and help us out. You can give $1 a month to be a cool gold subscriber, or $5 a month to be a golder subscriber and get this show early, 1 week early, and ad-free, and get access to all our bonus shows, including our newest one, a game site about nothing, the Croc Games Podcast, about the old website we used to run and how much angst was related to that, including Angst Monkey.
We interviewed Angst Monkey.
And a link to our Discord is also on nomorewhoppers.com. Our Discord is free for all. You don't have to be on Patreon. Just come and say hi. Thank you very much. And our merch, shop.spreadshirt.com/nomorewhoppers. It's another year. It's 2024. Are we ever going to have any new merch? No.
Yes.
Okay.
We'll have merch eventually.
If only you could put audio files on shirts.
Well,
we could just drop our drops.
That's a good idea. Wait, why don't we do that?
Because you don't have shirts that play audio.
But they have like greeting cards where you open them up and it plays jingle bells. Have that where you open the shirt up.
Well, they don't provide those kind of things in the shirts on the ready-made merchandise sites.
But why don't they do that though?
I guess there's just too much of a high cost involved.
Why can't you open up?
You gotta get the speakers. You gotta sew them into the shirt. It's a whole ordeal.
Why can't I open up a shirt and hear sandwiches?
Open up a shirt?
Yeah, like you open up a greeting card that plays jingle bells. You know, you gotta open it up or, you know.
Oh, you want like a little door on the shirt?
Yes, a door.
Okay. Uh-huh. I thought you meant like lift the shirt up of somebody.
You could do that too.
Okay.
Yeah, imagine pulling up someone's shirt and holding it up while this plays.
Postal code 4440116 Aichiken Yukata Gun Kota Cho. Oh, Aza Ashinoya. Atoshiro Juhachi Banchi. Midorigaoka Village F202. That's my full fucking address.
Right.
Right. Yeah.
Or like police.
This.
Hey everyone, I love FF6. Wait.
Or this.
Dear God, my clothes!
Or like the police are frisking you and they lift up your shirt and they just hear.
Or this.
And this is my brother Alex Fraioli.
Hey, who's that in your shirt?
I'm Rebecca.
All right.
Anyway, look forward to our new shirts. You can spice up your time in the bedroom.
They're called audio wear Oto shirts. They're called sound wearables.
Dad shirts? No, that's not right.
They're called
Optimus.
Yeah.
805 NMW Talk is our phone
the
number.
show.
That's 805-669-8255. Please leave us a voicemail about anything you've been hearing about on the show and want to talk about. Maybe not the blood stuff, but no. But anything else, keep it brief, under a minute, please, and be funny. All right.
Hey.
And what else is going on? Alex and I are on the internet, of course. No More Whoppers isn't really anywhere else on the internet now except nomorewhoppers.com. But nonetheless, personally, we are both on the internet. Alex, would you like to talk about some of that?
Yeah, find me at patooey.org. That's pitohui.org. That's also me on Blue Sky. That's also, I guess if you're still on Twitter, that's my tweeter. That's my Twitch is Hooded Patooey. I added the Hooded there because someone was already me. I already have a doppelganger on Twitch. I've been streaming more of that Yakuza Lad, which is pretty good. Getting back into
your
that
shadow, the true self.
Yes, getting back into that FF7 fan dub. I may or may not stream myself collecting footage for this YouTube video. That's fun. I'll see you there. I'll meet you at twitch.tv.
All right. You can go to my website, rdbaaa.space, to find all my links. But that's also the same name that I am on Blue Sky, that new social network space. How about that?
Yeah.
Okay. What else? I make video games for my company, Bipedal Dog. You can go to that website, bipedal.dog, find some neato games, and I was just on Retronauts a few weeks ago in December for one of their Patreon episodes where we talked about the year 2004 in gaming and how fun that was. And then I went ahead and plugged our Patreon show, which was also largely about 2004.
Good. Thank you.
Yeah.
Also, please look forward to me on Retronauts. I don't know when it's coming out, but if you hear me on there in the next couple of months, it's me.
All right. Find out if Alex did his homework.
I did, mostly.
All right. That'll about do it then. Thanks, Alex, for being such a good sport.
Anytime.
Everybody else, keep your nose clean and we'll see you next time. Gold subscribers, stick around till after the show. We're hanging it up to dry. It's the award for Laundry Basket of the Year. All right. Can I talk about college a little bit, this next one?
Yes.
Can I get a real vocal answer to sincere questions?
Yes.
Fucking God.
All right. Actually, yeah.